A friend of mine came over today because I have one of those plug-in sensors to read the error codes for a car. And as we were discussing what the error code was, I realized that the solution or what was going on with the car could very well apply to the way that we buy comic books. If you want to see this big leap, stick around. So like I said, a friend of mine came by today, okay? And I have one of those plug-in computers to check for error codes. And as I plugged it in, I found out that it is the O2 sensor for the exhaust. So I'm discussing with her, we look it up online, what exactly is going on. And it could be a faulty sensor, or it could be that the mixture is too rich. She asked me, what do I think that she should do? Now, don't get me wrong. I am not mansplaining to this person. She has probably more computer technical knowledge than I ever will have. But we're just going through the logical process of the CPU. And we realize that one of two things could happen. Let's just say it's a bad sensor. If it receives the bad information from the sensor, and it just turns on the warning light to let you know it has to be changed, and you decide to ignore it, then that's fine. If it actually sends the information to the CPU and the CPU makes changes to accommodate that bad information, that's when you have a problem. And I realized that's very much like the way that we purchase comic books. You starting to see where I'm going with this? There are a lot of people that complain about Comic Tom. And or other people, or market manipulation, extreme speculation, all sorts of things. And it's just like those faulty O2 sensors. I'm not going to say whether or not I agree with or disagree with Comic Tom. Okay, I have my own feelings on the subject, but that's not for this discussion. Let's just say I see a video and I disagree with what he says. He is my faulty O2 sensor giving me information that is false. How I act on that is my decision. If I disagree with it, but I still rush out and buy the comic book, is it his fault or is it my fault? If he gives information that I think, hey, that's really cool, or somebody in a store tells you hot advice on something, and you buy it, or they tell you don't buy this book and you don't buy it without doing all your own due diligence on something, you're the CPU. You control your own mind. You need to be able to take accountability, of course, for your own actions. Yes, there is a certain degree of price that will go up and down based on this speculation. Everybody saw what happened with just about every character involved with WandaVision and how everybody was so ticked off about it afterwards. It still all falls upon us. If you did not feel like it was worth spending $1,500 on a first appearance of White Vision at 9.8, then don't spend it. Okay? You're never going to get every single book out there. And you're never going to hit on every book that you purchase. Okay? The reason I have a wall up here behind me is to remind myself that I can succeed. It's also the reason that the other books are in boxes off to the side so I don't see them. Okay, but I mean, yes, I missed the mark. Anybody want a second printing of Venom 25? Anybody want Transformers and My Little Pony? I mean, come on. We all make mistakes. And there are going to be books that we're like, oh man, I should have bought that. And you didn't. Okay. But I'm sure there are books in your collection that you can look at and go, you know what, I might not have gotten that, but I got that one. Okay, the ones that I love the most, Heir to the Empire. I got that for $50. It's a 9.8. Black Panther #2. I got that for $35. It's a 9.8. When I got them, they were the right price, but I had a feeling they could go up in price. I never knew they were going to go up that much. I would have bought more than one copy, of course. But for everyone that I have like this, I have another box over there that I don't want to look at anymore. But I take accountability for my own actions. If the ones that I missed the boat on, I missed the boat. The ones that I picked completely wrong on, I completely, I mean, if you watch my video and saw all those books I pulled out at 4.5s and 5s because I completely misjudged the grade on it. We all make mistakes. So don't kill yourself for anything that you miss. Don't kill yourself for the ones that you thought were going to be good. Enjoy the ones that you made those great calls on. Take every piece of information, every video, especially on YouTube or the internet or Instagram or Twitter, with a grain of salt, and know that if you see something or hear something, don't just immediately go, okay, buy. Okay, there's the ultimate in FOMO. Just look into it a little bit. Go onto the census and see how many graded copies there are. What's the sale history of this book? Go onto eBay sold items. You can go back for months and see, has this book been trending up or down? How many copies do they sell? Do they sell 25, 30 copies of a Silver Age book every single week? Apparently there's a lot of them. If you see one sale per week, maybe the interest is low, you can start to see, you'll start to get your own patterns. But the bottom line is you have control of your collection. You have control of your lives. Okay, if somebody gives you erroneous information about something in your life, it's up to you whether or not you want to act on it. So, in comics, in life, and in your car, I wish you all the best. I want you to always have success and enjoy the hobby, because that's what it is. It's a hobby. It's fun. It's comic books. Okay, My Little Pony. Come on. So I hope you found this information helpful. If you did, please like, subscribe, click notifications, and share the video, or just plain tell a friend or two. I would greatly appreciate it. And as always, I'm out.